Well, good morning and thanks for joining us on TVC News this hour. We start off with the ongoing strike by the non-academic staff of universities, which commenced last week. The federal government has released funds for payment of withheld salaries of the non-academic staff union of universities. In a statement by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the federal government has also released funds for the payment of benefits to retirees under the Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme sector. The statement mentioned that payment to the non-academic staff of federal universities had commenced and many have confirmed a receipt. The development comes following the commencement of a nationwide strike by NASU and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities last Sunday. Let's turn our attention to Nasarawa State, where local government election was held on Saturday. The Governor, Abdullahi Sule, commended the residents and officials for a smooth exercise. The Governor also spoke shortly after voting at his polling unit in Akwanga local government. Godwin Agwam tells us more on this report.
It's the D-Day for the conduct of local government polls in Nasarawa State by the State Independent Electoral Commission, NASEC. Election materials arrived in most polling units across the state at about 10 a.m. on election day, and 14 political parties are contesting for the 13 local government chairmanship seats and 147 ward councillorship seats in the state. At polling unit 002 in Gudi electoral ward, the Nasarawa State Governor, Abdullahi Sule, was on ground to exercise his franchise alongside other electorates. He describes the process of voting and accreditation as seamless and transparent.
I have just voted at my own polling unit along with my family. I can see the process is going very smooth. There is no rancor, there is no misunderstanding, but we thank God Almighty. From what we are hearing all over the state, I met with the security agencies this morning and they told me everything is going smooth everywhere so far.
This is Lungu, Wombe, polling units of Gayan Ward in Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State. As you can see, the voters are coming out in their numbers, they are exercising their franchise. The area is relatively peaceful. Security agents could be seen around, ensuring that there's law and order. Leaders of the state commend the State Electoral Commission and security agents over the conduct of the polls.
The view about this election is that it is a very popular election, it is free and fair, and people are conducting themselves in the most expected manner, where the winner of this election will be a candidate, a chairman for all the people of this constituency.
Highly impressive, clearly indicating that the people have answered the sensitization process for them to come out en masse to exercise their franchise.
Political parties in the state say they are prepared to accept the outcome.
In the sense that there is no rancor, no crisis. Secondly, it's one of the freest and free and fair election. And you can see how people are coming out to exercise their franchise.
At the moment, collation and counting of votes have commenced in some polling units across the state. Godwin Agwam, TVC News, Lafia.
Let's move to Cross River State, where the Governor, Basi Otu, also commended the conduct of the local government election in the state shortly after casting his ballot. The Governor reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring local government have the necessary powers and resources to deliver effective services to their communities.
APC as a government, I think we've been doing very well. In Cross River State, the landmarks are already very clear. And I think the final jigsaw that we needed to fix together is the government as the lowest level, and that is the local government, where the people are going to be directly reached and where the delivery of the dividends of democracy is felt even more better. So we are sure that APC will carry the day because we are ready to do more for the people. Actually, in terms of the security fill-outs which I've gotten so far, I think turnout has been quite good, and looking at the The polling unit here, you can see that the turnout is quite massive.
That of course they are coming to serve and not to be served, and so the people should be their priority, because it's the government of the people and the people must come first in all that they have to do.
Well, this polling unit, Adamawa polling unit, there was no incident here. There has never been any incident here. We've always been peaceful here in this part of Odukpani, and the voting went very well. The voting materials arrived in good time, and everybody, as you can see us, we're all here, very peaceful, very happy.
Let's talk politics. The governor, Seyi Makinde, has advised the members of the People's Democratic Party to remain united and resist any attempt by external forces to destabilize the party. The governor was speaking at the inauguration of the newly built Southwest Secretariat of the party in Ibadan. Senior reporter Olaide Oyewole has more details in this report.
With the ongoing crisis within the People's Democratic Party, the inauguration of its zonal secretariat in Ibadan served as an opportunity to reaffirm the need for unity amongst party members, particularly in anticipation of the 2027 elections. Governor Makinde, in his speech, addressed several issues surrounding the party's crisis, including rumors that he was being urged to contest for presidency in 2027.
Nobody will set an agenda for me apart from myself.
He also downplayed allegations that the ruling party is attempting to destabilize the PDP and emphasized the need for unity to counter any potential threats that may arise.
Let us all work together, unite our base. That is all that we need to do. The next election will be APC versus Nigerians. So please don't fret. Don't even think external people have control over what will happen in our party. Yes, they may try, but it is only when we allow it.
We must refocus attention on building strong administrative operational structures. With that, we can deploy for election, retain our existing state, and even expand our reach across the 6 zones of the Federation.
The acting national chairman of the PDP commended Governor Seyi Makinde's efforts and urged other party governors to follow his example of promoting unity within the party.
We are here to witness another promise fulfilled. This is one of our attributes as PDP. I also want to use this opportunity to call on our brothers from other zones, because to me, you have thrown a challenge to all other zones to emulate this kind of gesture, to repeat it across the zones.
The commissioned building was named after a former Southwest chairman of the PDP, late Soji Adagun-Odo. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
We're still talking politics. The First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, has called on Nigerian women to actively support other women seeking elective positions. At the All Progressives Congress Women National Summit and Dialogue in Abuja, the First Lady asked the leaders to further push for legislation to increase the quota of women in elective positions. The event had in attendance the wife of the Vice President, the First Lady of Gambia, National Assembly members, State First Ladies, Deputy Governors, women leaders of the All Progressive Congress from across Nigerian members of the diplomatic community.
The renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR places strong emphasis on creating opportunities for women to thrive economically, socially, and politically. My charge to you all today is for women to unite and actively support each other, especially when pursuing elective positions or advancing in leadership. Let us rally around one another, provide necessary encouragement, support, understanding, and guidance as we lift each other up.
This summit allows us to discuss our roles as women in politics, and to embrace the power that lies within our collective strength. It is a reminder that we shouldn't be satisfied with just being onlookers. We should strive to be shapers of Nigeria's political landscape, nation builders, and the architects of our future.
The governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, says his administration doors are widely open to investors. Mr. Fintiri spoke when he received the European Union delegation in the state. Senior reporter Wolabi Adenusi filed in this report.
Adamawa and Taraba state government are still counting the gains recorded in the various peace initiative program sponsored by the European Union in subduing herders-farmers conflicts. This is the reason why Governor Fintiri is appreciating this EU delegation. Mr. Fintiri, represented by the Chief of Staff, Government House, Edgar Amos, believes that the interventions of European Union Committee's 2 program has impacted meaningfully on the lives of the benefiting communities.
To be very glad to have heard that the government and people of Adamawa State have collaborated and embraced what you have brought to the table. This is the way to go, because our country and our state is facing a lot of challenges.
Team leader of the delegation says Committee's 2 program of the European Union is committed to making lives better for the people through economic development, peace and security.
Committee's project is very much related to mediation, peace and security issues. It was intervention targeted at solving concrete problems on the ground, but I believe that this project very successful. We just had a meeting with stakeholders.
On his part, the Chief of Staff, Taraba State Government House, J.J. William, has this to say.
Taraba State Government is making frantic efforts to ensure that the much talked about herders-farmers conflict is brought to an end.
Meanwhile, Search for Common Ground has trained journalists in Adamawa State on conflict-sensitive reporting, an EU-sponsored program. The resource person and journalists shared their thoughts with TVC News at the end of the 3 days program.
Teaching them ways to report in conflict zones without sensationalism, and also how to report in these conflict zones without being biased.
The EU-trained program has equipped media practitioners in Adamawa State with the needed skills on conflict-sensitive reportage, as well as balanced and nuanced storytelling.